Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pay Per View. We're only a week late because I had an I Quit match with Life and I barely won. Hi, I'm Callum. I am one of the hosts of this show. I'm joined by the other host of the show, Bex. How you doing,
Hello.
Bex?
Good. Feeling good. Watched this live, so it's been a hot second, but hey, always happy to chat some wrestle time.
I didn't watch it live because I was very busy last week
So
with
fair.
everything falling apart, and
Yeah.
I've spent the last 3 days watching this show. I probably wouldn't have minded how long it was if I'd watched it
Yeah.
live, but
Yeah.
I didn't. And good God,
So
it was
it took you
long.
3 days.
I watched
It was
most
long.
of it in one day,
Yeah.
and then it went like, and I got to. I think I got to the to no. I watched most of it in 2 days. I watched the first half of the show where none of the important matches happened, and then I watched all the important matches, and then I watched the main event today.
Yep.
Um,
They love to backload their pay-per-views with here's all the fun ones and here's all the important ones at the end. Have fun, don't get blown out. And you're like, alright,
you get a lot of matches for your buck, but
yes.
sometimes you're like, some of these could be in a collision match.
Oh
Um,
yeah, we could have popped this on a dynamite and called it a day, you know?
so this was All Out from Toronto,
Just
Canada, which
yes
is the
indeed.
first pay per view they've done out of the Great North. Um, is it? Am I right about that? I think I'm right about that, unless they did
Fairly
another
sure.
one. Yeah. Um, I didn't watch the pre-show, so I'll hand you over to Bex to go through the pre-show.
I mean, it was a pre-show. They did this year. They split it up into the 0 hour, which was on YouTube, which was more of like a retrospective. It was a lot of RJ, Renee, and Big Ryan Danielson sat around chatting, did some hype packages, talked about their roster. Brian had some lovely things to say about Mercedes, so like solidarity as like resident Mercedes defender. Um,
I've got a lot to say about Mercedes in this pay-per-view, and it's all positive.
She's
Um,
great, is the thing. So like I
yeah.
was glad to hear him talk her up. And then live on I want to say it was on HBO in the States, but I don't remember because I'm not American, thank God.
We just got it on
They did
Fight. We just get it all on Fight. We just
exactly.
it's not even
They
called
did
Fight anymore.
they did a special collision called Tailgate Brawl All Out, which very funny to see them very slowly trying to reclaim Brawl Out, uh, which I think is a very good idea, frankly, if you can get away with it, because would be
Hey,
nice.
nature's healing. We might be back to a world where we don't have to think about Brawl Out every 5 seconds.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, I can see you doing this. And from the looks of it, they're going to do Tailgate Brawl for Wrestle Dream 2. So this seems like a thing that they've
Oh.
established with the TV deal. I assume it's so they still get their full, like their 2 shows a week and also the pay-per-view. So interesting for going forward.
I think it is because they've moved the pay-per-views onto
Yeah,
HBO. If you're a HBO subscriber, you get a special deal on the price of
sure.
them.
So it means like the network gets their
Yeah,
standard 2 shows a week.
you
So the
can watch
pre-shows Yeah, so the
Collision
pre-shows with
straight into it.
matches will be going on TV now rather than YouTube, which I think is a fun idea. And also, I mean, I guess the network is quite into AEW if they're letting them do that. Love to see it.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. So yeah, not a whole like pretty standard pre-show. We had the Ops, so Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe against the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and JD Drake. Nice.
Who the hell are the workhorsemen?
The Workhorsemen have been a ROH tag team that have just kind of been like kicking about and getting a couple
Oh,
of like spots here and there on like collisions and things. They're good. They're a perfectly serviceable tag team. Nice match, brisk, spicy little 5 minutes.
I feel like when you call yourself the workhorseman, you're like, we are here to have matches, and everyone forget about us. That is our
Yeah,
that
and you
is
know
our
what?
objective. You've met that objective.
perfectly serviceable way to do it. They did exactly what they said in the tin. Nice little, just over 5 minutes. Ups obviously won, because why would the workhorsemen win? But nice to see them on AEW TV. I think the real draw of the pre-show was just after that. We had Danny Garcia making his Death Rider debut, if you will, with Marina Shafir against Shibata. Now, this was a really good match. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Danny Magic was around, and Daniel Garcia had nothing to say to him, did not look at him, did not acknowledge he existed. And yeah, Danny was working nasty here. Real heel stuff going on. A real nasty stomp to Shibata's head that looked pretty ouchy.
He's off injured after this.
Yeah, which, like, I have no idea what it was from, or even if it was from anything in
It's
particular.
just
Or
ciabatta.
if
He's
just
made of ciabatta, and he will
right,
just
like
fall apart. That was
complete
the
glass.
worst joke I've ever made.
Pretty good though. But honestly, my like little highlight spot of this match, and it's such a tiny spot that I don't think many people picked up on it, is Danny Garcia has always had this very fun babyface spot where he'll get knocked out the ring, he'll be on the ground, the crowd will help him up, like, your classic face spot. We had this again in this match, except the only hand that was offered to him was Marina Shafir. Crowd did not help him up, but he took Marina's hand and she pulled him up, and I was like, we're going full tilt on Death Rider heel Daddy, which I enjoy. I think he's needed something for a long time.
He's
this
finally
might just do
got a
it.
friend his own age, Bex.
Are they
Wheeler
friends?
Yuta.
Are they friends? I feel like Yura's kind of looking at him like, oh no, I'm being replaced. Which, like, not wrong. I think potentially that was the intention, bringing Danny in from the Death Riders side anyway. I don't know what's happened to me recently, and that I've kind of always enjoyed the Death Riders as the rare person who has. However, since they lost the title, they have become so like incredibly compelling to me that I actively look forward to seeing them all the time. Like, I think they're great now.
Not to talk about Dynamite, but I'm
Yes.
fine with them, and I think they are interesting as long
Yeah.
as Hangman is 2 miles away from them and
Yes.
not
And like
getting fucking involved with them again.
I understand like the beat of like Hangman is coming back because everyone helped him and he can't like be like, well, I got mine, see you later. So like I get it, but I'm also like, we don't need to do this. But we'll
There's
see.
enough lads on the roster who can fight the Death Riders. Like, there's enough of
Yes.
them. Samoa Joe's there for that reason. That's his job. His job
Exactly.
is to be daddy mid-card.
But I enjoy their vibe. I enjoy that they have to aura farm. I enjoy their walking in from 3 miles away, etc., etc.
I think Marina Shafir, despite like not really wrestling, is really compelling to watch.
She's
And the
so
way that she
compelling.
interacts with everyone is like, I'm fascinated by you. Could you just transfer that into a ring persona?
Well, the thing is, Marina Shafir is the current Defy Women's World Champion. She's quite good on Defy, is the thing. Like, the crowd really likes her. She wrestles solid defenses. Like, she's been getting a lot of reps in, which she's credited to Mox helping her get sort of a position in a place where she could do that. And again, not to talk about the weekly shows on her pay-per-view show, but she had an unannounced match on Collision last night and just
Oh.
popped in the ring. And her and Yura have been doing mixed tornado tags in Ring of Honor.
Well, I assume that she's going to be Chris's first big defense.
Quite possible. I know they're
which
doing,
is why
for
I'm
the
like,
6th anniversary, they're doing the Kris and Darby versus Marina and Yura tornado tag. So it could spin off into singles, which, like, Marina's a lot better than she was in ring for sure. And cut a promo last week on Defy that was a very good promo. Like, it was a good promo. She's got real good on the mic. She sounds like Mox on the mic, which is very fun. Like, you hear her cut a promo, and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, Mox taught you how to cut a promo,
I'm
which is not a bad
excited.
thing. I really like Mox.
I'm
on mic,
excited for
but
more of her. I just don't want her to show up 3 weeks before a pay per view and go, "Oh, I'm the next challenger for the world title," and go,
yes,
"Oh, you don't? Like you've been here a long time, but like,
yeah.
okay,
And she puts on a perfectly serviceable match with Kris. Her debut match with AEW was a dark match with Kris, so it's fun to see that come right round. Either way, she was just kind of lurking around being a menace in this match, as she tends to do, which she's very good at.
intense eyebrows. I've never seen such intense eyebrows on a person."
Intense eyebrows, eyeliner wings that are like practically meeting at the back of her
Yeah,
head at this point. It's incredible. But yeah, very good match, very hard hitting. Good to see Danny doing some more things that are not just hanging around and losing, you know?
yeah.
So I'm glad he's getting this heel push. And then and then we had yet again just another like, here's a bunch of folks on the card match, which is fine. This match lasted less than 5 minutes. It was 3.5. It was Hologram and Paragon, so Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, against the Frat House. Again, another Ring of Honor stable. Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, and Preston Vance. It's fine. The Frat House are a comedy stable.
According to Wikipedia, accompanied with by Jax Jameson.
Jack
Who's naming
Jameson.
these jokers?
I know. Which, like, to be fair, if I went into a frat house, I would expect to find someone called Jack Jameson. So maybe they're very good at what they
It
do.
is actually pretty good. Like the frat house is. I am familiar with their like
Yeah.
little bit, and it's a good bit.
It's a good
It's
bit.
like we're sorry that we fucked up Private Party, but we can do the young frat thing
Yeah.
well. We promise.
It was fun, like completely fine. Nothing too exciting to write home about, but a fun little pre-show match. That's all I can ask for. And then we close out the show with the women's 8-man tag team tornado tailgate brawl, which is a lot of words to say pretty much anything.
I do like how many ways AEW can rename a hardcore stipulation.
Oh yeah, they'll say anything about anything.
Like we had
People were quite. Oh, okay.
we have 3 different variations of the hardcore match with a different name on this show alone.
Yeah, it's beautiful. People were hard on this match online and whatever, which, sure, I get it. If you came into this wanting a strict wrestling 8-man tornado tag, it was not that. This was what I can only describe as absolute chaos. All these women were just here to have fun, and you know what? I had fun with them. Sometimes a tailgate brawl is people with spatulas and ice coolers, and you're just kind of hitting each other with them, and I think that's fine. Exactly what it says in the tin. Everyone got to have fun before the show.
A plunder match is as fun as the plunder that you put into it. Like
Right. And like, I don't know, I popped when they had a little mini barbecue and they were putting like Julia and Sky's heads in it, and then Mina's hitting them with the lid of the barbecue. That's fun. Like, sorry that people hate having a nice time, but that's all it was.
why would we have a
Um,
nice time? I'm not coming here for entertainment. I'm not
no,
coming
don't be
here.
silly.
I'm here for technical graps only, which the
Only
crowd will
that,
go dead
nothing
for.
else. Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was like, yeah, sloppy all over the place, but in the way that like a lot of these brawls tend to be. And lets them get all the sort of silliness out of their system ahead of the just announced Women's Blood and Guts. That's where you're gonna get all your hardcore, sick, twisted stuff.
Yeah, I did cheer, go, yeah, women's blood and guts, and then immediately have to go, for context, that is a match type. I'm not just
That's a match
calling.
type.
Yeah,
There's a reason I'm saying this. But yeah, the face team won that. So Harley, Mina, Aminata, and Willow took the win over Megan Vane, Penelope Ford, and Julia and Sky, the Sisters of Sin. So
Sisters of Sin.
the Sisters of Sin is so funny, but also I deeply
And they're
enjoy every
part of.
time commentary is like, "Oh, they're sisters," and I'm like,
And then there's
"Sure."
also like the wider faction with Tekla, which is called the Nightmare something.
The Triangle of Madness, which I think
The
is a
Triangle
bad
of
name.
Madness.
Uh,
I
I have
love the
no.
Triangle of Madness. I think that's a great name.
I have noticed that Tekla in particular just calls them Madness, which I think is fine. She's been a big proponent so far of she would like to add more people whenever the time is right. So I think she's like, if we drop the shape now, we're not locked into a trio.
We can't have another ever expanding faction on AEW, okay?
Yeah, we can.
We
Yeah, we
can't.
can.
No.
We can. Here's the end goal, right?
Yeah,
We
okay.
get to a point, everyone is a Death Rider or part of Madness or part of the conglomeration, and that's it. Those are your
Or
only
Don
options.
Callis family.
Or the Don Callis family, that's it. If you're a face, you have to be part of the conglomeration. Otherwise, you have options.
Yeah. Well, we come on to the main card,
Yeah.
and we open with our new broadcast commentator and the man who is most excited about this show than anyone else in the audience.
Oh,
It's Brian Danielson.
I enjoy that they let him aura farm before he goes to the table. Like, yeah, let him get his pop in his entrance. Let him do his silly little yes chant. He
It
deserves
is
it.
a cheap way to get the crowd excited,
Oh yeah,
but we
absolutely.
did it
But
for
that's
Jim
okay.
Ross, and like it.
Mhm.
We haven't got Jim Ross at the moment because he's very poorly and he's probably retiring within the next
Yes.
6 months or
Yeah.
maybe a bit more. So like they need someone on commentary. They can have a play theme music playing, him come down, and everyone seems really excited about it, apart from Taz. But we'll fucking come on to that. This I liked the main event a lot, but I've got a lot of words to say about that fucking commentary booth.
I don't think I noticed. I think I was too locked in. I know Taz has since
It's
come
the
out and said that.
funniest shit. It's
I know
so
Taz
funny.
has since come out and said like, "Oh, it's fine. Like, we're just finding our feet with the extra people." But very funny to see.
Because he sounded legitimately pissed off. There's a bit
Oh
I'll
dear,
talk about it now.
Taz.
There's a bit where they're talking to Brian, or they keep on like Don Callis constantly talks to Brian, and Excalibur
Yeah.
constantly talks to Brian, and then at one point they're talking about necks, and Taz goes, "I broke my fucking neck, and nobody seems to care about that."
I
And
did
it was
hear
like,
that. That was very
"What the
funny.
hell, boy?" Anyway, so we open with Cage and Copeland versus
The
FTR.
CNC, yes.
Yeah. Which was as good as a Cope match can be for me.
Yes. They did like the opening like segment VT, which was like fine. I think a lot of it was kind of lost on me.
It's so
It
Fed
was
like. It's
I was gonna say it's
so.
kind of the most fed I've ever seen them, and I was like, oh, Cope, we don't need to be doing all of this.
Yeah, it
But
whiffed
the
of Adam
actual
Copeland.
match was fine. Um, as is often my gripe with FTR matches, they run a little long for my taste.
FTR plus Cope equals add 20 minutes onto a match that doesn't need to be this long.
Sure,
Even
like
though
there was
this is
just a
only
couple of
18
false
minutes, it feels
finishes.
longer. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few false finishes where I was like, we could have ended it here, and it would have been better for it, probably.
Cope refuses to like get anyone do damage to him. He got kicked out
Yeah,
of so much at the end of this match, like
yeah,
shatter machine and a table spot, was it? And he just,
yeah.
I'm
And
all right,
then it
boys.
all ended with like a spear, and I was like, sure, I guess. Um, the the Cena tribute in it was fine.
It's a
Like
better Cena tribute than the rest of Cena's retirement year.
well, yes, I understand why you did it, so I wasn't too mad about it. But that combined with the very fed opening segment and then the end, I was like, this was kind of like this was a little bit of a fed match. And that's fine, as long as it's not the entire card, which obviously it's very much not, but not to my taste.
Yeah, I had enough of a good time with it, and then the ending
Yeah,
sequence, I went, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Cope! Just if you don't want to get pinned, don't let everyone hit their finisher on you. Like, just
yeah,
get Cage get finished, and then you
yeah.
run in to save." There's a better structure to this match. It doesn't make everyone else look like shit.
Yes,
Um,
exactly. I
at the
like Christian a lot. I like this face turn he's doing where he's just doing all the same shit, but the crowd are allowed to cheer him about it now. That's fun. Um,
Yeah, Christine Cage is the best thing about this. Like, that's
yeah,
my takeaway as well.
I very much enjoy the "he's our asshole" chant that we get going with him now. Lovely.
Yeah.
Very
Um,
much how I feel about him too. And then the end is, yep.
Overbooked, but we get Beth Phoenix, because I refuse to call her Beth Copeland. What
I
a
have to assume that Beth Phoenix is locked up by WWE.
it is. And
Yeah,
I spent a good while thinking what else you'd call her, but Beth Copeland, I get she's probably fine with it. They probably love each other. They're a very loving couple, but
yeah,
I don't
sure.
like it.
It did make me laugh that her Tron was just Beth, and
Beth,
I'm like,
yeah,
sure, yeah.
I
um,
really hope this transitions into being she can do a Legends match or so, because Beth Phoenix is great.
yeah,
And I think that some of the women on this roster could really benefit from having a Beth Phoenix match,
yeah.
like
Like
just
I would
as
not be
part
mad
of
about
their
like a little short Legends run for her.
yeah.
It was nice to see her. She looked very good. Um, the
And then he got
overbooking at the
pile
end
drivered.
was whatever. Um, in to be fair, I did enjoy the little spot of like Cope is handcuffed to the ropes and he can't do anything, and the FTR are coming in and whatever, and she does the little "I love you" spot and then turns to like get pile drivered. Fun. I'll give them
But
that.
here's my thing: he can't
Yeah.
be pile drivered if he's got handcuffs on. So you could just
Yeah. I
leave Beth.
yeah. Like they probably would have like hit him a bit, but like, what are you gonna do? He's a wrestler. That's what he does. Well, what he should do. Whether it's what he does remains to be seen.
It's nice that Copeland has invented a new way to do the I'm gonna have a match, get injured, and take time off. This time, he let his wife get injured, so he's got to take time off. It's
Yeah.
genius, really, when you think about it.
It's nice to switch it up, you know. But it
Yeah,
does fall into my like the aftermath of this falls into my sort of least favorite part of any intergender spots, which is when they act as if taking any move from a man instantly kills the woman.
yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think that's true, but fine.
I think the pile driver specifically is what's done the damage here. If I was to
Yeah.
defend them, because like that is like the move of doom. Like we consider it
Yes.
a we shouldn't
It's
do it because it's a bad move that hurts
okay
people.
here. But it's one of those things that like because it is such a habit of people, I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. I'm
It's
like,
because really the wrestlers all want to do intergender stuff because they know it doesn't matter, but the TV
yeah,
execs in the back go, "You can't do it."
yeah.
So
Well, I'm like, I watched Marina Shafir get put through a table by Hangman Adam Page, and she was up Aura farming next week. Like, she's fine.
yeah,
So, like,
um,
but a minor complaint given that everywhere does it for whatever reason. So, what can you do?
yeah. Well, we then move on to my boy is back in a really boring
Yeah,
match.
yeah. Rough. This was rough. On one hand, I think Eddie deserved the pay-per-view pop for his return. Like very much, like it was so good to see him back. It's so nice to see him in the ring again. I it's nice to see that he has not let go of the Claudio beef at all. Beautiful. Man isn't even in the match and he's still like, you're gonna catch strays. Like
Thing is, though, that shirt should tell you what storyline he should be immediately inserted into when he comes back.
yes, but also I under like obviously they're not doing that with him, which fine. But I understand not immediately putting him into it because I do think a lot of this match was ring rust city, and that's understandable. He had a really bad injury. He's had a lot of time off, but I think the time off showed.
He
And
looked surprisingly well considering his injury and how long he was
exactly.
off for. I also,
But
as much as I like Big Bill, I
yes,
think a lot of it is you've put him in a ring with Big Bill, and Big Bill's
yes,
limitations showed off in this match.
yeah. And also, like, I've said it before, and like, I said it before, even I started training, and now I understand how true it is. Ring shape is something totally different, man. Like, you can be in the best shape of your life, and a wrestling match will just kill you dead. Like, it's a lot. So, I understand giving him almost like a warm up match before you throw him in a big storyline. However, on the pay per view, it just kind of was like, "Ugh."
I'd have put it on Dynamite. I would have put it on
Yeah,
Dynamite. Maybe the anniversary show or something like that. Give him
yeah,
a little bit of a shine, and yeah, I think it. Yeah, it's leading to, it seems, a tag team with Hook,
yes,
um, which is a choice. I
yeah,
think Hook. They want to give Hook the rub because his
yeah,
shine has fully gone,
yes. And I
and
fine, Hook'll do well out of that. He'll get a decent rub, and there's a chance, however slim it is, that it might be a way to let Eddie get ring time without having to sustain matches himself. I don't think it's uncommon to pop someone in a tag team, let them sort of work out, get back in the shape and the
yeah,
practice of it.
and, and,
So I
and
don't
also
think
like
it's a terrible idea, but it's a strange choice.
I think it's also like the natural place for him to go is Moxley because like that's
Yeah,
his entire arc in AEW is
yeah,
Mox. However, that storyline is currently really busy with other people, so it
yeah,
does make sense to go, okay, let's put you up against, let's put you on a side story, and also there's a path into it because Hook doesn't like the Ops,
yeah.
so you could do Eddie and Hook versus the Ops,
Yeah,
which
and then
will
Death Rider
yeah,
shenanigan, etc., etc., etc. And honestly, if you were going to give Eddie like the big blow off match with the Death Riders, frankly, I would just give him the Claudio match. Claudio is the actual problem at this point. Like Mox is outing himself as being a coward at every turn. Claudio
yeah.
looks like a fascist dictator every time he shows up. I'm like, this man's scary, actually.
For me, because like when Eddie first came into AEW, it was
Yeah.
with Mox, and it was for that terrible TNT Dynamite match with the
Yeah.
barbed wire that explodes, and at the end,
Ugh.
the great dramatic moment where if it worked, it might have been the best fit of AEW that year, but it didn't, and it's become
I'm so
equally
sad it didn't
infamous.
work. I'm so
And he
sad it
covers
didn't work
it,
because
and
it means that they'll never
he
do it
covers
again.
Mox, and it goes, and
Yeah.
it's like,
And it's so sad because like they'll never do it again, and it had the potential to be one of the matches of all time. Like
yeah,
truly chop off that like finish bit, and it's an incredible match.
it's a great
It just
match.
it just sucks that the ending went so wrong.
Yeah,
So yeah, I could see putting him up against Mox, but like you say, that story is very busy, and
very
Mox has
busy.
no shortage of people who want to kill him. So I think it's fine to let Eddie spin his wheels for a little bit, get the rust off.
They also gave a hell of a lot of the match to Bill. So because they're like, okay, we're good, we're
Yeah.
beating you, but also let's just make you look a little bit good before we
Yes.
drop you with a hit that doesn't hit you.
Yeah, the miss finish was rough.
Um,
And again, I think I keep saying it, but ever since I started doing training myself, I'm like, I have so much sympathy for things going wrong because it is so much to think about and it's so easy to miss things. But it sucks when it happens like that on a big pay per view, on a big show, whatever. Live on TV, there's nothing you can do. But alas, these things happen. You got to just keep rolling.
Speaking of wrestling training and Bex being a sicko, next we had the Tax and Tables match, which is what I imagine your first match will look like.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Uh, Mark Briscoe versus MJF. Um, this was the first good match of the show.
Yes,
I felt
like
uh,
unequivocally good. Yeah,
this was great. They
yeah.
they teased you real good with those tacks. They knew how
Hmm.
to like drag out the start. So MJF runs out the ring immediately. Mark's like, "Okay, I'm just going to make a bed of
Yep.
a million thumbtacks over this entire ring.
Yep.
And then they played really well with the ooh, 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 ooh.
The ongoing spot of like who's gonna take the first back bump was really good because like you did get the sense of neither of them really want to because there's tacks everywhere. And it sold that those were real like threats. Like tacks are fine. They hurt, but like
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think it was
the worst
a
thing for the
level
right
of
people to
tack.
do.
The level of
Yes.
tack was immense. Every move, even walking, like the bit that really got me, and they pointed it out on commentary, was like there were so many tacks that their shoes had become covered in tacks, so they
Yeah.
were just sliding around the ring.
I mean afterwards, Bryce Remsburg, the ref for that match, posted a photo of his shoes, and the sole is silver. Like you
Yeah,
cannot see the sole of his shoes. So yeah, that ongoing like spot of who's going to take the first bump worked for me very well. I like that a lot.
and then once the
And yeah,
bumps were
there was a
taken,
lot of
it just
tension.
they just started going for it.
Yes,
Everyone
because
was
well,
like,
the seal's broken, time to go. Like,
yeah,
and MJF with the perfect heel heat of getting out of the ring and folding the tables up and putting them away. Just a perfect spot of like, oh, the people want tables? Absolutely not. I don't want that.
yeah. I mean, I was surprised to see Mark took up the win. It makes sense following the
It
Dynamite
makes
promo.
sense. Yeah.
Um,
And I think as soon as we started to get to the run where I was like, oh, he's finishing with the J Driller, I was like, he's taking the win. Like, you don't let him get off the Driller without it winning the match. But yeah, lovely, lovely bloody match. MJF
yeah,
was covered in it.
I love that he was wearing white pants,
Yes.
and really early on when the blood started going, there's just a massive gash of blood right over his penis. I was like,
Yeah.
I
I
don't.
feel like I spent most of that match being like, oh, Max, man, we've all forgotten a tampon on big days. It's okay, son. Like, it
I'm just
truly
like,
was.
I'm like, if I was a shit faced wrestler, I'd make a joke about that. And I
Yeah,
hate the fact my brain went there.
right. Um, but yeah, I mean, MJF had a banger 24 hours. Just before this, he went and had that match with Mystico, um, which was an absolute barn burner. And again, a bloody mess. That ring looked like a crime scene afterwards. Um, there's one of the gnarliest photos I've seen of wrestling in a hot second of Mystico in the ring, and half his
Half his
mask is
mask,
like
yeah.
ripped and it's blood. It's so good. And then yeah, came straight here, did this with Mark. Wonderful, wonderful match. And then off he went again to film a movie. His
Is
poor
it to film a
wife.
movie? I thought it was his honeymoon, but finally.
No, he's filming a movie. She's still not getting her honeymoon.
Say. Max is my favorite. I think Max is the best wrestler in the world. That's my opinion.
He's very, very good. He's so good at what he does, and this was an excellent match. Like, put over Briscoe something incredible, um, and really made the most of the stipulation. Because, like, when they said, like, oh, it's going to be like a tables and tacks match, I was like, sure. Uh, not not a stipulation I would have been like rooting for, but okay. But they made it work really well. I really enjoyed it.
I just think like they made a really big deal of those tacks. I'm like, tacks and tables. That's just a normal match for Mark Briscoe. He does them in every
Yeah, he
match.
kind of just does that, you know?
So like maybe let him pull back. So when we get matches like this, we can go, oh fuck, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and we get the conglomeration are returning later in the show. They get they're all backstage cutting a promo, and somebody's coming back, and they're like,
Who
whatever.
could it be?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I don't care, then do it.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm not. I
It'll be
do care. I
whoever.
love Orange Cassidy. He's my favorite guy.
No, it'll be whoever. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
Speaking about things that don't matter, as far as I'm concerned, fuck this. Okay, this was
This was a
okay.
dynamite match. This is a dynamite match. Like, this did not have to be on the pay-per-view.
The demand, which is Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toliona. There we go. I do
Yep.
know their names. versus the Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and for some goddamn reason, MVP,
MVP.
who got 80% of this fucking match.
Yeah. I suppose it's unusual to see him in the ring, but sure, I guess.
You know what? He was way better than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah,
But
he was fine.
I don't think I wanted to watch a trios match with Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley in it and watch
Yeah.
mostly MVP.
Yeah. And also, it's one of those matches of like, it was a perfectly fine match, but you're just following a very good match. And it's like, well, you need the ebb and flow, right? You need a match that like lets the crowd cool down so that they can be hot for the other ones. But this was a dynamite match to me, a collision match. Even like it wasn't really pay-per-view worthy. And
My biggest
again,
take,
nothing wrong with it. Perfectly serviceable as a match. I just wouldn't have put it on this card.
my biggest takeaway, yet again, every time I watch the Hurt Syndicate, Shelton Benjamin's freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
I just want to
Very
watch
good.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ricochet did what he does best, which is bump.
Yep. And you know what? You have to respect it. I'll respect him taking the insane bumps. That's fair.
Yeah, it's they beat the Hurt Syndicate in the only way they could possibly beat him, which is pinning MVP. Because there ain't no way
if you
I'd
were
be able
gonna,
to get a pin.
yeah, that was how you had to beat them if you were gonna beat them. So, yeah. Again, fine. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing to write home about. I would have put it on a Dynamite if we wanted to shorten this match card at all.
Yeah. Well, next up, we have controversially my match of the night.
It was a very good match.
I fucking love this match.
Yeah, it was great. And also women, our first women of the night. Delightful.
Monet versus Riho for the
Yes.
TBS Championship.
Yes.
I loved this match. I
It was
think
great.
the thing that made it work is that Monet has become a Joshi wrestler.
Yes.
And because of that, because Riho is shorter than her, she could do way more stuff to her.
Yes.
And
Yeah, Mercedes getting to work Powerhouse in this match was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see her get to work with someone smaller than her that she could kind of toss around a lot more.
and like Riho is one of the best wrestlers that AEW has as their women.
So
like
good,
she's just
yeah.
flawless in the ring. And the two of them had amazing chemistry. I could
Chemistry
have
was
watched
great.
this for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, it
I
was so
loved
good. I wouldn't say it felt short, but like that, I could have watched this for longer. They had wonderful chemistry. Mercedes is so mean with those hits, and I mean this in the most complimentary way possible. But sometimes she'll hit like she had a really good Meteora in this match, and I was like, oh, felt that
The
one.
meteor
Like that one.
off the announce table.
Yes.
Ah, absolutely gnarly. Fucking
Like
disgusting.
gnarly as anything, and also it's like so much like fun character work in there. Like Riho asking the announce table if she could get up on the desk. Lovely.
Fine,
How
yeah, I
charming
gave
of
her permission.
Yeah, which like is just such a fun little detail. Mercedes did not ask permission. She does what she wants. You know, like. But yeah,
I think they
wonderful
call it the
match.
lung blower that she did right
The
before the
lung blower was
moneymaker.
nasty.
That is the coolest move I saw all night. It's my move of the
Yeah.
night. Okay, there's some really cool stuff in the ladder match, but I was like, that just looks like it kills you.
Yeah, and like honestly, much better than her actual finisher.
Yeah.
Because like I've been very critical of Mercedes and her like in terms of her finishers. That lung blower.
That's the new finisher.
Love
Unfortunately, I immediately went, well, she couldn't do on anyone else on the roster because they're all
no,
too
of course
big.
she couldn't. Yeah, but on Riho it looked so good, and I was like, I wish you could do that on other people because that was an incredible move, and such a good finish. Again, this card to me was very much, for the most part, a lot of expected results. Um, but that's okay. I don't mind that on the whole, provided the match is good. And here I was like, Mercedes is obviously retaining here, which she did.
I
But
could
that's
watch a
okay
rubber match. I could watch
because
another one.
I got a lovely 16 minutes out of it that I would happily watch them run back anytime. So,
I would watch. I'd watch them go back and do this at Wrestle Dream as
oh
well
yeah,
because
me
the
too.
eye poke was technically cheating to win. So I'm like, if
Exactly.
you've not
So
got
I'm
another
like, well,
program, give this 3 weeks of proper build. Okay,
and let them
they're
run it
not on the
back.
yeah, and then run it back. I'll mention it. There was some stupid stuff on the internet about Riho in this match because Gail Kim, who I usually am a pretty big supporter of, said some things about Riho's body shape and
Yes.
size.
Yes.
And the thing is, I think the point she was trying to make, which is, and this is reading it genuinely, but I do think this is what she tried to clarify she was saying, is that the way that Riho was shot seemed really pervy. And I
Sure.
will admit, in the last, there was a point in this match where I did see exactly what she was saying for like a moment. I was
Well,
like,
the thing is, she didn't even mean here. She meant in a match years ago.
did she? Oh, well,
Yeah.
shut up, Gail Kim. What are you talking about?
Because, like, on one hand, sure, but on the other hand, I'm like, unfortunately, wrestling is just kind of, you're kind of up in there with each other.
Yes.
Like, there's
Yeah.
kind of nothing you can do. Um, and Riho likes to wear skirts with her gear, and that's fine. That's her prerogative. Um,
Yeah.
the
We
the
we shouldn't
Twitter
be
mess of
body
Gail
shaming
Kim
each
is,
other.
by the way, ongoing. She is continuing this. It has been 5 days, I think. So at this stage, it's like, put the phone down. It's fine. Um, but I think Riho is a very, very talented wrestler. It's not. We cannot be mad at her for being small.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. We shouldn't. Yeah. We if anything, the only point I think she might have is we look at the way that we shoot people
Sure.
sometimes. Because I've been feeling it over the last 3 pay-per-views. It's that sometimes the women are shot from a low angle all the fucking time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
boys, I want to watch the match, not the ladies. As much as I like the
Yeah.
ladies, the camera has a certain eye to it occasionally, and that's just
Yeah.
the way that
And
cameras work.
yeah.
Um,
And that can happen on occasion. But I don't think it warrants the 5 days that have followed. And also, I don't think it warranted coming after Riho in particular, who had a very hard time on the internet for all of those reasons. We didn't have to pile on. Um,
I
we didn't have to claim that Riho's size makes her unbelievable to watch as a wrestler, especially coming from Gail Kim, who feuded with Awesome Kong for most of her career. So, some perspective.
she's meant. I won't get into them. Yeah, we'll drop this. But like,
We don't need to
she
get
was
into it.
like the champion of women in TNA for years,
Yeah,
and she did fucking good job of that. You should be championing all women wrestling. Like that's what you should. Anyway,
it is what it is. But this match was very, very good, and I
I love
enjoyed it a
Riho,
lot.
and I think we need her more on AEW television. Give me a
I would
Statlander
be,
match.
yeah, I would be very glad to see them like feature Riho a lot. Now that it seems like visa injury, all of those things are mostly settled.
She does this. She'll come along, have a match, and then vanish for 16 months, and then we'll go,
Yeah,
"Oh, Rio's back," and you're like, "When was the last time I saw her?"
yeah, and like it's always a lovely time to see her, but I'm like, could we see you more often, please?
Yeah, it's like
More
like Yuki,
consistently.
um
Sasazaki.
Sasaki. She showed up a couple of months ago, and we've not seen her since, unless you're going on
Oh no, she's
Konosuke
in
to
Ring of
forget.
Honor.
Oh, I need to start
Yeah,
watching Ring of Honor. There's too much wrestling.
there's so much wrestling. No, she popped up in Ring of Honor a couple of weeks ago to wrestle Janai Kai, I think, which by all accounts was a very good match. I haven't watched it yet because I'm behind in Ring of Honor because there's so much wrestling all the time. But nice to see her around. I
Speaking of
watched. Queen Aminata's vlogs, and she was in those, which is delightful.
Ah,
Lovely to see her
lovely.
backstage.
We love wrestlers with a vlog. Um,
Yeah.
moving on to too much wrestling. Let's talk about Taskeska versus Okada versus Masquerada.
Mascara Dorada.
There we go. I said that one. This this is probably the actual match of the night.
Yes, I would say so.
Um, this was magic. These boys
So good.
know how to
So good.
wrestle.
There was a chance here that this could have been the Okada Takeshita show, and Dorado was there just to eat the pin. They did not do that. They made the exact right decision, which was this was a Mascara Dorada showcase, and he absolutely killed this, knocked it out of the park. Looked so incredible. We got some lovely teases for Okada and Takeshita feuding down the line, which will be incredible when we get that singles match. But this was Dorada's match, and it ruled. It was so good. He's so good. He's 23.
Oh no! Don't say that. Ah, there's
Yeah.
one that happened. I did that's something I happened later on in the show when I found out someone's age, and I physically did not want to exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No,
he's
Mascara Dorada's
23.
23. That's
Oh
a baby.
no, that's
I know.
amazing.
And moves like that, an incredible match. Looked so good. Everyone I know loved this match, and they're right to do so. This was great.
It was an amazing use of Okada as well, because like a lot
Yes.
of people have been criticizing the way Okada wrestles, and I don't mind it because I think it's great. But like
Yeah.
the pace kept on like ramping, Okada cut it
Mhm.
down, ramp,
Yes.
Okada cut it down, and it just showed
It
off the way
was
his character works and
it was such
complemented
good
the match.
heel movement, right? Of like, oh, we're getting a good ramp up, we're getting a good build, blah blah blah. Well, here comes your heel to do your cutoff, right? And it's like a classic match structure, but Okada's just so good at it, and that it's built into people's perception of him now. So they expect him to do the cutoff, and they're still mad at him when he does do it. And I think it's great. The stare downs to like pace that match were wonderful. I mean, it went 20 minutes, and I don't think I felt any of them. Like, absolute breeze of a match to watch. So
And
much
yeah,
fun.
teases you the match of Okada versus Takeshita, which will be amazing when it happens.
Incredible, yeah.
And like you have a new favorite luchador. Tony Khan is really good at going, here's a new luchador. Do you like this one? I like
And we'll
this
go,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, we like
Which
him,
will be
Tony.
great.
Next up, we have what? Well, we had John Moxley versus Darby Allen
Yes,
in a match, which was a coffin match.
sure was.
Perfectly fine.
Honestly, exactly what I expected when they were like, Mox and Darby doing a coffin match. If you had asked me to sit down and book what I thought it would have looked like, pretty close to this. Pretty close to this. Darby took some bumps that looked insane, and that made me think, yep, still got a death wish. Nice to see. In particular, that one over the top rope into the coffin lid, and you saw the lid break.
That one was bad.
Ow!
Oh, not good.
Ow! Felt that one. I enjoyed. This is the thing. I really like watching Mox in hardcore matches, and like you, not a revolutionary take, but I have the Way of the Blade book, the AEW edition, which is about death matches and hardcore wrestling and whatever. And there's some really interesting insights in there from lots of people in the roster, but Mox gets a lot of page time on account of the fact that Mox does all the deathmatch wrestling.
He is deathmatch. I am Mox. Yeah. I am deathmatch.
Exactly. But he talks a lot about how in normal wrestling matches you are famously always told like slow down, you're playing to the back row, you want everyone to see everything you're doing long before it happens and long after it's happened, right? Like you're playing for those big reactions. And he's like, I don't want to do any of that in a death match. I want to do it so fast that you see the aftermath and think, oh God, what just happened? Right? And I think for me, it was really interesting to see that psychology happen in real time. Like those spots where Darby's fingers got slammed in the coffin, right? Perhaps for another wrestler or in another type of match, it would have been a big show of like, here comes the lid, and I'm forcing your hand down, and I'm holding it there. We're wrestling back and forth to keep your hand there, and then I'm going to make a big show of reaching for the lid. Nope, hand in, lid down. Darby's selling the hand, right? Like it all happens so quick. So as much as I'm like, yep, this was exactly what I expected, I always love to see Mox work this style for all those reasons he's spoken about. It's interesting to see that psychology at work. And I think he does it very well.
Yeah. I was surprised with the result. I did not think we were going to keep doing this, but I guess we are.
I guess we are. The the new step they have for Wrestle Dream interests me. I am interested in this to see what that's going to look like. Because the Wrestle Dream, they're doing an I Quit match.
Quit match. Yeah.
Which I'm curious to see how that'll go. I'm wondering, we're starting to establish Mox as more of this cowardly heel now, who's running away from people, he's tapping out, like the big bad Mox.
I'd run away from a flamethrower that almost burnt half the audience.
Well, exactly. I would too. The fact he fell over the steps and made Claudio and Marina pick him up was very funny. Did appreciate it. But I also could potentially, and I'm not committing to this as a prediction, but I thought about it and I'm like, it could be interesting. I could see Yura at ringside throwing the towel in for Mox, and that being what triggers Yura getting kicked out the Death Riders. Because I feel like we're building to a Yura face turn eventually.
Yeah.
So I could see something like that happening, but mostly I'm curious to see where that goes.
My favorite
I don't particularly care for Darby Allen, so whatever about this, but I like a hardcore match, so it kind of levels out.
Yeah, I'm lukewarm on him. I think because he was one of the pillars, and I watched AEW from day one.
Sure.
And I did commit to the pillars idea for quite a while, and then two of the pillars became shite.
Yeah.
My favorite spot in this match was the bag for the bag.
Yep, bag for the bag was great. Very funny. I enjoyed Danielson being like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. I'm not involved. I don't know what you mean. Very funny.
A bag for a plastic bag!
Unserious of them. It made me laugh a lot. And then, obviously, at the end of this match, we get the return of Pac.
My honey badger's back.
Nice to see him back. Unsettling to see him back with short hair, clothes, and dry. Don't like it.
Another podcast I watch made the joke he'd gone to Tesco's to get the finest fit he could.
Right, like, I don't like it. Someone put that man in ring gear and, like, dump a bucket of water over his head.
What is it with people coming back in pure black, no character, and shite haircuts? We've had Pac.
I'm like, stop.
Oh, no, stop it. He doesn't look like Pac.
I know, it stresses me out. And, like, it also stresses me out because, like, I've seen the rare photo of Pac, like, as himself outside of the ring, and that's really upsetting because why is he wearing, like, collared shirts and, like, unsettling. But he isn't even doing that. He's just in, like, regular clothes. I'm like, just put him in ring gear, put some water over his head, call it a day. I can't.
He's wearing too many clothes. Take them all off him. He's just there in his panties, and that's all he should be in.
Right, like, I can't look at short-haired, clothed, dry Pac any longer. We have to move on from this idea.
It's bad. We don't like it.
It is. But I'm glad he's back. And it'll be fun to see him kicking around again.
Next up, we had the women's world title match between timeless Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Fletcher, and Kris Statlander. I'm sure we'll be talking about this for a while, probably longer than the match was.
Well, that's my first complaint immediately. Yeah, my immediate thing about this is this should have run longer. Easily, this should have had another 5 minutes, 10. I would have preferred, but what are you going to do? It was too short for what it was. And I'm not the world's biggest Toni Storm shooter about to say something that will sound like a lie. I'm not mad at the result. I actually think this was the right call in the end. However, I think we could have done this differently.
That's where I am. I don't mind the result. I actually think the way it happened was a letdown.
Yeah. I mean, for context, this is where Toni drops the title. Kris Statlander gets the pin, uses the seatbelt pin, and is the new AEW Women's World Champion. This was done in a 12-minute match that was a 4-way. So you can imagine the sort of ring time everyone was getting for this, right? It's not a huge amount.
I'd say that, like, compared to the 3-way, the Okada, Takeshita, and Dorada match, where basically one would get knocked out and the other two would wrestle. Here we got
they did a good job of doing
all of them doing wrestling.
Yeah. They did a good job at having most of them in the ring doing things at all times. But it just ran short, and I think it would have been serviced by being longer. Yeah, like I say, I'm not mad at the result. I think Kris absolutely deserves this. She's been a day one talent. She's been there the whole time. She's come back after blowing both ACLs, looking better than ever and moving incredibly. She's a very good wrestler. And I think she absolutely deserves a run as world champ. I think it does a disservice to how good a champion Toni was for her to lose like this. And I don't even necessarily mean in the 4-way, because especially with the like little mini arc they were building of her like searching for her murder, taking more and more risks, doing defenses against anyone, I think it makes sense. I just think it should have been more to make that hit.
She wasn't murdered. She was stolen from. That's my big issue with it, is that,
like, and I'm not saying she had to bleed, right? Like,
yeah,
famous blood freak, like I would have loved it if she did, but you know,
I would have liked to see her finish her and go, she's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like, I understand why they did the seatbelt pin, because they're running this storyline of Kris and the Death Riders, so I get that. But if you were going to do the seatbelt pin, then I think Toni had to take a lot more punishment in that match than she did. And that's not a slight against her, because we know that she'll bump like hell and she'll take all sorts of insane stuff. So I think genuinely this would have gone over better for me, just being more, giving more room to breathe, more time, more spots for all these women to hit, because they're very
more
clearly
false
capable.
finishes, like make you, because it kind of came out of nowhere, and like there wasn't anything leading up to it where there was like pin exchanges between a couple of ladies, and then you just had Statlander come out of top because of the seatbelt pin. Like, that would have been a great way to tell the story, that like she couldn't put it away, no one could figure out how to put it away, and the seatbelt's the thing that did it. My big takeaway is, so Statlander is being seduced by the Death Raiders, or is like battling with the choice between it and taking their advice. I think it'd be more impactful is that she sides with them, and that's what gives her a win, rather than gets a little bit of advice and then turns them away. And like, the thing about Statlander's entire character for the last 3 years is that she flip-flops every 5 fucking seconds. And that's not Kris's fault, that's the booking.
No. I think the answer... I think, frankly, I actually would have liked to have seen Kris work almost full heel in this match.
Yes.
Even if she still turns down the Death Riders later, right? If she works full heel in this match, works hard and brutal, we get this angle of she's murdering Toni. Like, this is actively what Toni has asked for. She gets the pin with the seatbelt pin, and then you can have much more of like the surprise shock when she doesn't join the Death
Yeah.
Riders, because it was still very 50-50 as to whether or not she would. And I think you kind of wanted to be going in 100% sure of an outcome if you were going to do a surprise swerve the other way, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, you can work that however you want, but yeah, I just think it needed more.
It needed more. And what I felt like, okay, Statlander got the win, but like,
Yeah.
I would have loved to see like a final 5-minute sequence where she works for it.
Yes.
Like, I wanted to see kind of like a good Rumble, not to talk about the Fed, but like a good Rumble is fun nonsense. And in the last two guys in that ring, or last two gals,
lock in, and they have like
lock
a
in and fucking fight each
Yeah.
other for that final spot. And like, you could have had Tekla and Jamie Hayter to cancel each other out, because
Yep.
that's what this match was. It's like it's there's some great things about it. Like, Tekla looked awesome.
She looked so
Jamie
good.
Hayter
Like,
looked awesome.
yeah.
And it really built that they don't like each other, and that
Yeah.
continuing feud along
And,
with
like,
Queen Adamada is like that's boiling away
and
in
like,
this match.
you keep that spot right where Tekla spears Jamie off the apron, and it's so nasty that it kind of knocks them out for the rest of the match, right?
Yeah.
So like, keep that spot, and then have Kris and Toni have like their 5 minutes of like going for it, you know?
Yeah.
That spear off the apron was one of my favorite spots of the match. Nasty as all hell.
The other controversy, I just think if you're taking the belt off Toni,
Yes.
because I think the idea is that she's going to be in the tag team tournament with Mina.
I
and
think
is
so.
probably your first or second champ. Probably
Yeah.
first, because she's just so over.
That's the thing. She's so over. Like, as much as you can't have her be world champ forever, part of me thinks that Toni should kind of always be holding gold in this company right now.
I think the better person to take the belt off her, as much as I like Statlander, is Athena.
Yeah.
Because she has the same level of character.
Yeah.
Because
I guess the issue with that is, and I guess we now only... Yeah, I guess we only now know this going forward, is that Athena's out for 6 weeks.
Oh.
And we don't, as far as I'm aware, it's not out and out injury. It's just wear and tear, and she needs the time off. So she got to her 1,000 days with Ring of Honor, and then took the time. So I'm like, I understand why you wouldn't then put her as your world champion for her to fuck off for 6 weeks, right? Like, you just can't. But it does make more sense. And I think also, I wasn't rooting for Kris to join the Death Riders, but I think you needed a heel champion after Toni.
Yeah. I think
Toni is so over as such a beloved babyface. Anyone who like took that belt off her and was heel could have got some nuclear heat about it. And also, Toni kind of ran through most of the heels in the division. So if you now have another babyface champ, you kind of have the same pool of opponents to run through, you know?
Yeah, and Thekla would be a good choice, because she was undefeated until this point. And she technically hasn't been pinned.
Exactly.
So,
she's very good. Tekla I will talk about in a minute, because I do really like her. But I'm like, if you were going to make Stat champion, which again, not against, I think Stat will be a wonderful champion. I think she's a very good wrestler. She has it in ring to be a very good fighting champion. But I think you make her heel. And you let her have like a tearing through the division as like a nasty heel run. And then if you want to revisit that Willow feud, then you can have the purest babyface in the world take that belt off Kris, you know? It makes more sense. But I don't know. It's a hard one, because like everyone's like, oh, you're just saying that because you like Toni. Obviously I love Toni. But I've said it for a long time. Toni does not need that belt.
Yeah.
Toni has transcended that belt, and that's fine. She doesn't need it to be over. She doesn't need it for people to show out for her. It's fine that she doesn't have it. and I like Kris a lot, and I think her reign will be good, but I'm just like, ah.
Your close and personal friend Kris Statlander.
My close personal friend Kris Statlander. I get to go and see her in November again. So like it's my close personal friend Kris Statlander, I would never say a bad word about her. But I simply think we could have done this in a 20-minute match and like had her actually like kill that woman who's asking for it. Like,
Yeah, killer. Like if you're the video package for this is so good. You're like,
so
I
good.
want to see a murder.
Yeah, like she should it should have ran longer and it should have been worse for Toni. Toni should have had
Yeah.
a worse time here. Like,
Yeah.
and she did take a lot of the offense, but she should have had a much worse time. However,
She shouldn't have just been like going
yeah, she should have been
for
like
like
dead in the
5
ring.
minutes
Someone should
going
have
up
been
the goddamn
checking on
ring.
her.
She should have been dragged out the ring by Mina or something. Like,
Yeah, like they should have had to have done the thing where they like call in the medical team to
yeah.
check on her and whatever. But I will say I am very glad that Toni ate the pin clean, because I think if your champion is going to lose in a 4-way, they should be pinned. Like, you put them over clean.
And to defend this choice, we've seen Toni can be pinned in a 4-way. She's done it in the lead up to other matches. Like that's her weakness.
That's how
is
Mina
that she's
got her
so
title
up
shot.
for she's so up for a fight. She'll just take on all challengers because she likes a fight and she's looking for a good opponent. And then she'll get pinned in the 4-way and then go, right, you are my next opponent because you proved that you could do it. I love that. And it makes sense in a 4-way. She gets pinned because we've seen that she can do that.
And also, like, she has history with Jamie going into it. She loves Kris. She's like, Tekla's fucked me off for weeks now. This has been annoying. So, like, her attention was split. So I understand, like, she can eat the pin that way. And I'm very glad she did. Yeah, I just wanted it to be longer. I wanted there to be more, just more to it, I think.
Yeah.
However, like I say, people, not to bring up the internet again, but people have been annoying me because in the like weeks leading up to All Out, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was discontent about the Athena decision. I don't know what it was, but people started turning on Toni as a champion and decided that she was like stale or wasn't a very good wrestler or like her character was boring. And I'm like, okay, we are just lying on the internet now. Hope you know that. Everyone's just lying for fun. But then it started to get the, oh, Toni doesn't want to take a pin, Toni doesn't want to lose, Toni Hogan, etc., etc. And I'm like, no. You can have your opinions about her character, even if they're wrong. You can say she's not good in the ring, even if you're wrong. But don't ever accuse my girl of not being willing to lose. Like,
she's taken pins as champion in tag matches
all the time. Like, it's fine. And I'm just like, okay. So the fact that she ate the pin clean to lose the championship, I'm very glad about, because it shut everyone up. Because if someone else had gotten pinned in that match, they'd have been like, oh, so she didn't want to lose clean. And I'm like, let's not lie.
I think the benefit we can take is that she's probably going to be in the tag scene. And the one thing that Toni Storm has been really good at, above all else, and she's done amazing work, is she brings eyes to the product. She brings fans into the product. She raises people up with her dumb character. Like, that's what she's good at, and that's what she's done so well. She's made AEW unskippable because you want to watch what the fuck is Toni Storm going to do this week.
Yeah, someone's going to give her a mic, you're like, well, I have to watch this to see what insane thing comes out of her mouth today. And like, even if you look at when Alex Winter came in, what did they do? They popped her with Toni to have a short little tag run. So then people got invested in Alex because they liked her and Toni's dynamic. And now Alex is a single star against Mercedes Moné. You know, like, it is very easy to pop someone with Toni and just let her give them a leg up, pop them up. So like, I'm very happy for her to just cut around the division, telling insane little stories and elevating other women.
She's raised the quality of storytelling and character work. And I think ultimately, in some ways, they could never match her last loss. You know, like her last title loss was such this epic story that they gave to a woman who just then went, all right, thanks, bye. Fucking
Just do the
cowards.
worst cage match in the world. Yeah.
Some people just
We
don't
kinda
know how
got-
to make good choices. And
Yeah, we kind of got to a place of there. But yes, it was never going to live up to the last loss. But I don't know. This one felt like a weird way to
yeah,
follow it up.
weird choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hun. Uh,
And I
yeah,
don't know what I would have rathered, because like I like the four-way idea. I think it ties in well to what the story that Toni was telling with her character. I genuinely think this would have been solved to just let them run long, let them,
give them 5-10 more minutes and make the
yeah,
5 last minutes like
Kris and Toni in a
either all
singles,
4
like
of them doing like near falls and all hitting
yes,
their finishes and going buck wild, or have the last 5 minutes be Statlander and Toni have the 5-minute match that makes you go, oh my god, Statlander's your next champion.
yeah,
That's what
because
she
it
needs.
it was a shock win, and like I think there was that moment of like the crowd didn't quite know it had happened,
Yeah.
and you could feel that lull of everyone like catching up, like oh okay, it's ended and it's over, and sometimes that works, but I just don't know if it was the call here.
It doesn't put over the other person unless that other person is already incredibly over. And I would
Yeah,
argue, as much as we like Statlander and she deserves this and she will be a good fighting champion,
yeah,
she's not over to the degree that makes you go, oh,
yeah.
wow.
Like
It was like,
she's over
oh,
in that people react to her, they like her
yeah.
well enough, but it's not. Unfortunately, I feel like very few people are going to be as over as Toni is.
Willow, a year ago, is as
Yes,
over as they needed Statlander to be for make this work.
yeah, I think so. Um, and I just think, yeah, it would have been served more to give them the time, especially considering that Kris and Toni have never had a singles match. So giving them that time to do almost like a mini singles match, and I don't know if they'll ever have Toni challenge her for the belt again. I don't know. Um, but if they do intend to, having that 5 minutes in that four-way gives people a like tease of like, oh, you like this bit? Well, here comes Toni to challenge again several months down the line. Remember that bit of that four-way you really liked? It's that, but 20 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
Like, but you know, again, I'm very happy for Stat. She looks great with the belt. She's going to be a fighting champion. She's defended already. Like,
Yeah.
the pay-per-view is barely done and she's like, yeah, I'll fight again, like it'll be good.
Hey, and you know, Harley Cameron is in that picture, and I'll watch Harley Cameron do anything for any amount of time.
I think as much as I'm like, okay, Harley is not going to be like a world title contender to me anytime soon, right? Like she is quite firmly a
They
lovely
could
little
have done
hand in
it
the mid.
if they'd committed to her serious change in Brisbane for the TBS and kept her being serious.
Yes,
She could be world champion next year.
she could be. But at this stage, she's like a very fun hand in the mid card, and I'm
Yeah.
very glad to have her there. But I think what's very smart about this is Harley has so much charisma that it makes the person she's with have more charisma.
Yeah.
So keeping her with Kris, who is wonderful but talks less than you would want a champion to talk, is great because it gives her someone to play off of, and people are really behind them as a little duo. So I think
Yeah.
that's a great idea. And like obviously we've talked mostly about Toni and Kris because they were the main players, but Jamie looked wonderful. It's so nice to see her hitting hard again. And I think obviously as much as she did not win or eat the pin, Tekla got such a good showing here that I think really proves that she has what it takes to be main event status in that company. Like she keep her in the title picture in
I think
future. She's very good.
this podcast has slowly watched me get Thekla. Like when we first talked about Tekla showing up, I was like, I don't get it. I'm like
Yeah.
meh on her. And that match,
Yeah.
star making performance. Like
Yeah.
because I don't watch the weekly television as much as I want to. I know she's
Yeah.
been doing some great stuff on Collision, and I know her Queen
She
Animala
has,
feud
yeah.
is really fun. But this, I was like, oh, I get the
Well,
whole thing now.
and
She looked
especially
great in
like
this match.
genuinely the Dynamite before All Out her and Amanada had a no holds barred match. And I don't think it's necessarily the complete blow off of their feud, but it's like a payoff so that she could go and do this title match and like let it rest for a little bit. But commentary did a great like call of making the point of Tekla is the only one in the women's four-way who is wrestling tonight. She is the only one who is willing to fight tonight and the weekend. And it's putting that over of like, she's tough and also she's insane.
She just likes to fight.
Yeah, well, there's an insane spot where it's a plunder match, so they have like bins and bin lids and whatever, and Amanada's in the crowd, and Tekla vaults over the barricade to follow her, brains her with it, and then Amanada's out on the floor, and she takes the lid and just smashes herself over the head with it, and is like grinning about it, and I'm like, perfect, thank you.
They've done a really good job of, because the original goal was Jamie and Tekla as the feud, but then Jamie got
Yes.
injured. And
Yes.
Queen Anamada just kind of went, "This is my chance. I'm gonna work really stiff with Thekla, and we're gonna make
Yeah.
this feud out of nothing." And then AEW went, "Yeah, okay, this works. This is a good feud."
Sure.
And now Jamie's back. They haven't just gone, "Bye, Anamada, you're out of here."
Yeah, they've done a good job
managed
of
to-
letting both things breathe.
Yeah, and now the Blood and Guts match, it's Jamie and Adamada versus the Triangle of Madness and whoever else is going to be in that match.
I don't think we've got full teams confirmed yet, but I have to assume we're doing Triangle of Madness and then Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. And then if that is that heel team, then your face team should be Jamie, Amanada, Harley, probably for the Megan heat, and then I guess you could do Anna Jay and Ty Mello. Both of whom are like willing to work plunder matches.
I assumed if you don't want Chris and Willow.
I just don't like. This is the thing. I think if Kris hadn't won here, I would have put her in Blood and Guts. But I don't think you should put your champion in Blood and Guts.
I don't know who she's going to face on the pay-per-view if she's not in that match. That's
fair.
Welcome to the AEW writers' room.
I know. I just think that like, if you're gonna do a women's Blood and Guts, you keep it separate from your world title scene to let the mid card women have something to do on the show. You know. Yeah. And also because like, Kris, you should be doing champion things. Don't be having blood feuds for no reason. Well, I could also see them popping Toni and Mina in there if they didn't want to do Anna and Ty. Famously, we know Toni loves to bleed and she's very good at it. So I think having a hand like that would be good. Mostly, I'm very happy for Sky Blue, who joined that company and has been campaigning for women's Blood and Guts ever since. I hope she's thrilled about it.
They should probably give her the match then if she's been campaigning for it so much. Okay, we're doing Blood and Guts. Don't worry, Sky Blue. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's already happened. You missed it. What do you mean?
You missed it while you were out injured. She would have been furious.
I've just had that happen to me in real life, so you know.
But yeah, Tekla looked wonderful. I think absolutely keep her as a single star, and I think that's a really good thing about this Madness faction, right? You've got the tag titles now, right? Julia and Sky should absolutely be running for those tag titles, and Tekla should be your single star. That's how that faction was always going to work, and I'm so glad that they have the tag belts now, so that it is how it can work, without it feeling like Julia and Sky are being relegated to just nothing tag matches.
Nice looking belts. I wonder when they're going to appear. Yeah. Well, talking of tag titles, next up we had ladders. Guest starring Vodido, the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and the Don Callis family of Hechicero and Josh Alexander.
Yes. Crazy match. Lots going on here. Thought Speedball was dead.
Oh, I thought Speed. Yeah, absolutely. I was like, oh my god, he doesn't need his knees, does he?
Yeah, like doesn't need his knees. Hope that's all right, etc., etc. But very good.
They had a ladder match, and there was many spots and much ladders.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the post-show media scrum. Brody was talking about tagging with Bandito, I was like, yeah, he's a lot of fun because sometimes I'll suggest a spot and be like, oh, I'm going to do this and I think it'll look really cool. And then he'll look at me and go, is that it? And I think that shows very much in this. Also, apparently, at one point in this match, Bandito handed him the ladder. I think it's when Brody's about to, I don't know, hit him with it or whatever,
Yeah.
launch him with it maybe. And he just hands him the ladder and goes, this is going to be fucking awesome. And I think that sort of joy in wrestling is delightful.
And that's kind of this match. It's a ladder match. You've got some real slow climbing in order for real good spots to come up next to them. Everyone looks good. Just there's so many spots. The one that's crazy is that the one that almost killed Bailey is that they are on the ladder, and then is it Hechicero who grabs them and then gets kicked off, and they're on a ladder that is bridged onto the ladder in the middle and the corner, and then for some reason Bailey goes, "Oh, I know, I'll do a backflip onto Hechicero," and missed Hechicero because Hechicero is quite contained as a guy.
Yes.
And his knees just went into the ladders, and you're like, "Oh, that's dead. Those are no longer knees."
Was great.
I really liked Hechicero. I am the biggest Hechicero fan. I think Hechicero is awesome.
So good. Genuinely very, very good. And again, like, I think for that Danielson commentary call where Don Callis is on commentary as he wants to do. And it's like, oh, Hechicero's best technical wrestler in the world, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever wrestled anyone like Hechicero? And Danielson's like, I've wrestled Hechicero. And I'm like, beautiful. That's it. That's all I needed.
I really liked Brian on commentary. Like, last time he was on commentary on the pay-per-view, I thought he talked too much nonsense. And he kept on trying to make jokes. And I was like,
I think he's starting to get his sea legs under him with it now. He's starting to figure it out and figure out his rhythm.
Good. He's so excited about the wrestling. He's so excited about the people in the ring. He loves it.
I think it's beautiful. Like, there's just such a joy to it when he's commentating. And I think that's great. I love the team that we had before, but Danielson has a very infectious love for the game.
He's great for Dynamite and great for pay-per-views, and it keeps him active. And because we love Danielson, and I think he loves AEW. Like he probably
really
wants to stick around because it's a cool place, and also they listen to him.
But also sometimes I think he's sitting at that commentary desk and the ring calls to him like the Green Goblin mask.
But that's what I thought we were leading to with the Darby stuff. I thought that we were leading to a Darby.
You know what? I wouldn't rule it out yet. I feel like he might still be like, "Oh, I got to get in there," and everyone's like, "Brian, no."
Another version of that I Quit match is that Brian throws in the towel for Darby and then challenges Mox. Anyway, this 4-way, great. My favorite spot was when Bandito got on top of Brody King, and you were like, they don't need the ladder. They can just reach.
They're fine.
Like, that would have been a funny way to end this match.
It would have.
Yeah, Brodito retaining is great.
I'm so glad Brodito are getting a good run. Like, Brodito to me are like top tier. We're just gonna chuck these two guys together and see what happens, and it's absolute magic. They've been so good. It's so cool to see Brody use his like lucha training, because like a big guy like Brody King, you do not expect him to move the way he does, and sometimes he does spots where you're like, "That's fucked, man. You shouldn't be able to do that."
Just stop. Like, right.
When I see him dive out through the ropes, I'm like, you shouldn't be able to do that.
It's been really, like, as much as they are like a tag team that have been put together, it all comes from that Mexico show, the Arena Mexico show, where he comes out in the Fuck Ice shirt, and and like the connection that they've made clearly is a real bond between these two guys, and like the groundswell of support for Brody King that has come from that, because like, you know, AEW like to use the fact they're a little bit more lefty than anywhere else.
Yes.
Because they show that they are different from the Fed. Like next
Yeah.
year, is it next year or the year after? The year after, 2027. The Fed's going to Arabia for its big show.
Yeah.
And
It's doing a 7-day
AEW have
mania.
the chance to do the biggest counter programming they've ever been able to do, and it might
And
work.
frankly, I think they will. I think they probably will. I think it'll probably work quite well. And I think a lot of the indies will probably rally around it because the
Yeah.
indies will feel the loss of WrestleMania
WrestleCon
weekend.
needs a location. The Indies need a
Yeah.
location for their Mania week. They'd be silly not to.
Yeah.
And you know, the tag division has needed attention, much like the women's division has needed, but and it's been getting it. And the tag team is
Yeah.
now the tag team scene is now getting it. Jet Speed, Bodido, like the Young Bucks' whole storyline has been great and really entertaining, and
Yes.
they're back on the picture. Like, I wouldn't
I think-
mind seeing FTR and Cope and Christian get mixed in with some of this, as long as
Yeah.
Cope learns how to take moves.
But like again, looking back, Brodito winning those tag titles is the best thing that's happened to this division in a hot
Yeah.
minute. It's
Support energy.
revitalized it in a way that people are really into now. Because like people are starting to lose interest in the tag division for a multitude of reasons, but it's been this shot in the arm for the division that's really like woken it back up, and I think that's great.
Exciting. Can't
Yep.
wait to see what they do next.
Yeah.
And then we had, at the end of this match, Jack Perry comes out to challenge to attack the Young Bucks.
Yes.
They kick his ass because there's two of them.
Yep.
And then we get a video which is showing that the person who dug Luchasaurus out of the grave and gave him magic juice to bring him back to life was Jack Perry. The lights go
Sure
down.
was.
We get Luchasaurus, who's wearing the Kill Switch belt. And I was like, oh no, they're still going to be here.
No.
Fuck.
No,
And then
took it off.
Lucha saves
Threw it
him,
away.
throws the belt away.
Luchasaurus is back, which
The
is so funny
theme
because no one
song's
was
back.
calling him Kill Switch. The theme song coming back once everyone was doing the like hands was so good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, beautiful.
I cannot. It's so exciting that they're back together and being face.
It
We can
feels
put
like
Full Out behind us. We can move forward and finally give them a good tag run.
yeah. It also feels like such a like they're kind of rewarding their day one talent a lot right now. Like Kris is getting the title, Jurassic Express are back. Like there's a lot of like, hey, you've stuck with us. It's time. It's time for you to get that rub. And I think that's really lovely in a way. And I hope that things continue to move in a way that still feels like we're going forward and not nostalgia baiting for 6 years ago.
Here you go,
but
gang.
so far,
Here's your reward for not going to NXT.
right, like it kind of is that. And I think that's fine. But yeah, I think going forward, if we get like the payoff for those people without feeling like we're going back in any sense, then it'll be a really nice time to be around.
Luchasaurus and Jack Perry is a duo you should have never split up in the way they did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like nature is healing, and like
Yeah.
they are
It's
different.
nice to see them back.
Yeah.
You can, yeah, it feels right.
And you know, I'm always happy to see Luchasaurus on my television. I think
Yeah.
one of my favorite guys and characters in the wrestle. And then we get the main event: Hangman
Yes.
versus Kyle Fletcher. Did you know that Kyle Fletcher is 26?
26 years old, yeah.
He's younger than me.
Yeah.
I'm
He's only
dead.
a year out from me. Yeah.
I'm dead.
It's
I don't want to be
wild.
alive anymore. No,
He's
it's not right.
so good. So good. And just absolutely incredible heel work from him all the time. He's such a good like stooge heel. And I think that's where it really shows. And bell to bell Hangman is one of the best in the division. So like I cannot complain.
I adored this match actually. I thought
Yeah,
this was
very good.
very, very good. This was proper graps. The speed and pace that Fletcher brought, the technicality and the like slowness of Hangman,
Mhm.
the character work of Hangman. I've got some little wobbles about I don't like that he still gets angry. really easily, and
Yeah.
he keeps on like sort of using like here it was fine because Kyle set up all the things that Hangman used,
Yeah.
but I'm like, can he win clean? Because
Yeah.
both of his major title defenses he hasn't.
I don't mind it too much, if only because we did have such a long story of Hangman as someone who does grapple with that and does find it very easy to turn to those darker parts of his personality. I would like to see them start to dial that back a little bit as he becomes the champion that he should be.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it too much. And like you say, Kyle set up most of those things, so it's just like, oh well, fair game now. But yeah, I love when people call back to their character's history in ring.
They had all their extra
Fletcher
moves.
hitting a hidden blade
Yep.
made me holler. Like, oh, there it is. There's all the impact that everything has left in you, you know? Same,
Hangman hitting a swerve move
yeah,
and
like
an
hitting the big
Omega move.
pressure. Yeah, like these people are so informed by what has come before, and I think it's very cool when that translates in ring too. And this match
Saying
ran
that,
38 minutes.
yeah. But I didn't take my eyes off it, and it was so
No.
engaging. It
Yeah.
it is the kind of match that Moxley thinks he was putting on as world champ, but actually, like it was well paced. It was a proper main event feel. Kyle Fletcher
Yes.
looked like $1,000,000.
He looked so good. And I am both surprised and glad that the stipulation about the Don Callis family never came into play.
Yep,
Like,
right
putting it
choice.
in place so that you knew that they probably wouldn't was a good choice. But then just never paying it off, never having them come in, never putting Kyle's TNT title in peril. Right choice.
Yeah,
It just
it was
let these two put on an absolute like classic of a match, lovely time, no worry about any shenanigans from
that
Don
is your
Callis.
future of AEW. Kyle Fletcher will be
Yeah,
the future of AEW one day.
absolutely.
After he'll probably beat Osprey for the belt in 2 years' time.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, absolutely great match. And Danielson was great on commentary in this match, and there's a great bit where
Yeah.
he stands up and goes, "Hangman kicked out." It's like great.
That's what it's about, right? Like that's how I am reacting at home, and it's nice to see that represented on commentary.
However, the feud between the commentary desk and Taz in this match was so distracting. The man
Oh,
seemed genuinely hurt that Danielson was on commentary and everyone was talking to him constantly, and
yep.
no one was listening to him. Even and
Oh.
multiple times, like, I've just said that. I've just said that. I said that a minute ago. And you're like, Taz, buddy, don't do this, bud. You're crashing
Oh,
out live on
bless him.
television. I I think it genuinely took away bits of this match from me because I was like, I'm
That's
just hearing
fair.
Taz lose his job. Um,
Live
the
on
thing
telly.
is, the thing is, Danielson and Taz serve a very similar purpose on the commentary team. They
Yeah.
are character guys, but also have experience in the ring and can give that
Yeah.
technical insight into how people are moving and doing the moves, and like they can cover for mistakes better than anyone else.
Yeah.
You just need to not have them on the same desk just because they fill the same roles. Like if they are on separate desks, both working for the company, it's fine. And they seem to get on. It's just that in
Yeah.
this match, Don Callis was being a prick, but Don Callis is working with Danielson because he goes, "You and I are both characters."
Yeah. And I think it's rough as well because when you add a guest commentator like Don Callis, you're now working a 4-person booth, and that's a lot of voices to get heard on commentary.
Yeah,
And I could see how, on some level, Taz feels put out because he has been doing commentary for a long time. I think long term going forward with the 3-person booth, it'll probably be fine. I think it'll maybe take them a second to find their groove, to find what direction Taz and Dynasty want to take, so they're not stepping on each other's toes so much.
Yeah.
I think a 4-person booth, when 2 of them are filling the same role, is going to get a little complicated, but again, not impossible. Like you
thing
say,
is,
maybe a little worse with Don Callis when he
Yeah.
is baiting people as he does. But like, I'm trying to think of other folk that guest on commentary. Like, okay, if you did a Dynamite with a 3-person booth and then you whack Toni on the end, fine. Because Toni is not filling any role, she's just being insane. And you can do that with anyone. So that's fine. So I think, yeah, it might take them a little minute to find their feet.
I just think that
I think it
Taz
was
doesn't want to
fine.
lose. Taz doesn't want to lose his best friend Excalibur. It's
Yeah,
like
and that's
Taz and
fair.
Excalibur
Like,
on commentary. They just hang out.
yeah, they're just doing a
Half of
podcast, and that's
Botchamania
fine.
for the last 3 years has been clips of Taz and Excalibur going on weird tangents on commentary.
And I think that's so beautiful. So yeah, I think
yeah.
because for the most part in the show, I thought it was fine. Like nothing seemed to distract. I do wonder if maybe the extra voice was just a little much.
It was
to
Dan Callis.
juggle.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was the
And not
4-man
even,
booth
like,
that fucked it.
putting it on Don Callis. Just like I say, 4 voices a lot to handle when 2 of them are trying to occupy the same lane.
For a long time, we believed in wrestling the perfect number of people in the booth was 2. And
Yeah.
like, I think I don't know. I kind of like it. I think because I started watching wrestling during the 3-man era,
Yeah.
I'm used to a 3-man booth.
Yeah.
You've just got to balance, and like AEW, you've got so many good commentators. They've got too
Yeah,
many good
exactly.
commentators, so it's difficult to put them all on the shows.
Yeah.
Ian Riccaboni, you've got Nigel McGuinness, as well as like the Tony Schiavone, who wasn't on this show.
Yeah, I wonder if Shivana is quietly stepping back a little from commentary.
Yeah, I don't know. I've also got too many interviewers. It's
Yes.
it's AEW hired too many people and has slowly been realizing over Tony Khan's been going, I do have too many toys in my box. I don't know what to
I
do.
don't know what to do with this.
I don't know what to do. Dad, what do I do? Can I have more money? He's like, no,
Please
mate, you've got to
help.
make cuts.
And just like,
You want to make cuts.
Quite frankly, the only person backstage that no one should ever consider getting rid of is Renee Paquette.
Yeah, Renee Paquette's
You
the
keep her
best in the world.
forever.
Yeah.
You keep her forever.
She's so good.
Yeah.
I quite like
Alicia
who's the
Tao.
other female? Yeah, she's good.
Alicia's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have to pick, it's Renee. Always.
That is true. And RJ City, just keep on giving RJ City a paycheck to do what he does.
Well, he's not got a graphic, so who knows if he even works there.
Who knows if he even works at AEW? Hosts a bi-weekly chat show on their YouTube.
My favorite thing recently about that was in Tekla's Hey AEW, where they're talking about it, and she's like, "How long has it been that you've not had it?" And he's like, 3 years, and she's like, "Wow, would kind of be insulting if they gave you it now." And he's like, "Yeah, I think it would maybe feel worse." And she just goes, I hope you get it. And I'm like, wow, that felt like a drag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bless him.
Amazing. Big match main event.
Yep.
It did make some of the low pits of this pay-per-view worth it.
For sure.
I think it's, for me, the weakest AEW pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, but I also think like the weakest AEW pay-per-view of the year is still a very good show.
It's still a
And
very good show.
And I think that's a lovely place to be in. Bang for your buck. You're always going to get some great matches out of an AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Whether they're all great remains to be seen, but you're always going to get something that you'll be like, you know what, that was worth it.
You're always going to get a lot of matches. You're going to get a lot of variety. You're going to see things you don't see anywhere else in major stream wrestling. Like, you get your plunder, you get your blood, you get your nonsense, you get women doing wild things. Yeah, great time. will be back pretty soon with Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, excited to
which
see what's going on there.
yeah, which is interesting. They've kept the Wrestle Dream despite it not being a New Japan show anymore.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, we'll see how it goes. New Japan is doing what New Japan does right now,
New Japan
so
is
we'll see.
sure it's still there. I'll double
Yep.
check every day.
I think the only thing we officially have established for Wrestle Dream so far is the Darby Mox I Quit match.
Is the women's blood and gut match not going to be on Wrestle Dream?
They've not said yet. I don't know because traditionally, obviously, Blood and Guts is a double ring setup, which I don't know if they would
Oh,
want to commit to that for a pay per view because that's a pain in the ass. So I feel like they might do it at one of those like special dynamites they do
the
sometimes.
special dynamites.
Yeah,
Oh, those
the
little
ones that they
special
like
dynamites. Every
whack a
2
name
weeks there's a
on.
new special dynamite that runs
Yeah,
3 hours.
and you're like, all right, I guess. So they might do it for that. They might put it in Wrestle Dream and just change how Blood and Guts is set up, but then it would feel like the women are getting.
I forget that Blood and Guts is War Games. I forget that
Yeah,
that's what it
it's War
is.
Games. Yeah,
Oh, I keep on thinking it's just a big cage.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So we'll see. It may be, it may not be. I guess we'll find out.
It'd be weird if they were setting
But
up for Full Gear and they'd announced it this far in advance.
yeah, I would be surprised if it's as far out as Full Gear.
Okay. Well, we'll keep tuned to see what happens and
Yes.
who challenges what. We've got 3 pay-per-views left of the year. And I've really enjoyed covering AEW for the second half of the year with you, Bex.
Yay, me too.
So, yeah. Unless there's anything else we want to cover before we go. How's your training going?
Going pretty good. I just passed my 4-month assessment, so into the last block of my fundamentals, which is very exciting. And we all left on Friday night after passing, and they were like, be in bright and early on Monday evening because we're gonna start doing scoop slams. And I was like, great. Scoop slams and suplexes, that's where we're at.
That's exciting. You know,
Very exciting.
One day
So
we'll meet in person, and I'll be terrified of you. Great. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll be back in like 3 weeks or maybe 4 weeks because the world could kick our ass again.
Exactly.
Bye-bye.
Bye.